Welcome back to the Millionaire in the Making podcast, episode number 2. If you haven't checked out the first one, be sure to go check that out. It was kind of a little introduction into me and Justin's past, future, present, all of the above. Just get to know us. Go check that out. It's on the channel. Make sure to subscribe. But yeah, I'm going to kick it to Justin. He's going to start this off and kind of give you guys the rundown of what's happening on this episode.
Man, we got a special one for you today. A lot of meat and potatoes on this one. We're going to dissect and build him a 10-year plan right now for where he's going to be at 30. You're already a year into it, so, you don't know where you're going to go. But now let's get you a destination. 30 is a good age. Mine was 28, but I started at 18. So you started at 20 pretty much. So let's get you on the 30-year mark. And a lot of the people watching this is probably 14 to 25 themselves.
Probably, yep, same age group.
10-year plan.
Yep. I recommend getting out a pen and paper because I would definitely be doing that if I wasn't sitting in this spot right now. So this is your chance. Give you a few seconds. All right.
And we're going to break this down into a 1 year, which you've already done, so you kind of cheated, a 5 year, and then a 10-year. So if you're on track to hit your 1 year goal, you should be on track to hit your 5 year goal, and you should be on track to hit your 10-year goal if you follow the same path.
So do you want me to start off saying what I'm doing now?
Yeah, let's if you're comfortable with it, give your numbers out. How much do you think, let's just say net worth is right now. Then let's go to how many followers you got, and then let's go to where you want to be in 10 years, and we'll judge that.
All right. So, yeah, totally comfortable with it. 250 days ago, I started Challenge Millionaire in the Making. Talked about that last episode. It's my real raw journey, my real raw profits and losses. So if you want to fact check me, go watch the videos. Talk about it every day. So roughly right now, I'd say you want to go liquid that I can pull together if I need to do something
worth,
or net.
Net worth, assets minus debt.
Assets minus debt. I'd say
college debt doesn't count.
Yeah, I'd say 35 is about the number.
It's a hell of a deal for 21 years old.
35. Well, if you're taking debt, I'd say 30. Let's just say 30. That's ballpark.
Okay.
Based off what I have to pay off. So 30, and let's say that's in 250 days. So I've accumulated. I started at 0. I'm taking this. I cleared everything, just doing the math in my head. You can go do the math on Millionaire in the Making. I was looking at it the other day. I'm about 30K. So sitting at 30K net worth.
In a downtrend market too. So this last market or this last year's wrecked people.
Well, this has been purely, I'm going to be totally honest. I probably broke even trading stocks. Mm-hmm. I'm still in that not beginner phase. I'm past the beginner phase. I've kind of grasped the concept, the like psychological side, but it's fucking hard. It's one of the hardest things to do, day trading.
1% of people make profits.
So I'm break even. I'm thankful for that because years back I was definitely in the red, but break even there. I make most of my money through social media. So you guys watching, I really appreciate that. You help me pay the bills. You help me get to 30K net worth in a couple hundred days. But so social media, agency, I have an influencer UGC agency that is up and running, and it's up and running fast. Jake, if you're watching this, shout out Jake, hell of a guy. I'd say on the low end, within the next 3 months, 10K a month minimum there. Okay. And that just started a few months back. So that should really boost me here in the future.
Social media is quick too. So anything digital, you could just blow up overnight.
So in the next 6 months, I don't think there's a month where if shit hits the fan, I'm making less than 10, let's say 7K.
Okay.
10K is obviously what I would like to make. I think that's a good baseline, but I think a shitty month, I should be making 7K a month. Here, give me 3 months. Let this agency grow. Let me let this agency get to, let me get a baseline coming in, retainer based, and then my social media side. But I'd say next
reiterate
months.
this. A lot of people that do make 6, 7K a month, they're working a 9 to 5 plus. Where do you operate this business from?
Self-built. It's all me.
Yeah, but where's your office?
Could be here right now.
That's the beautiful part.
You're
not tied down to anything.
That was the whole framework of. Quick story before we kind of get into this. My parents, if they're watching this, they're super hard advocates for college. They work their entire lives to build up I guess a certain amount of money to put their kids through college. And, when it's time for their first kid to go to college, he's like, fuck it. He's the one kid in the world who's like, nope, I don't want your money. I don't want to go to college. It's not for me. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that, it's almost been like there's no turning back. I had to create something. And, college, normally you're going to work under a boss. That's just what a degree gives you. So I almost had to look in the mirror and be like, yo, it's no turning back. You got to make this shit happen. And it took a while. It took a lot of work. But where I'm at right now, trying to achieve what I'm trying to achieve, I think in the most humble way possible, I think I'm in a good, comfortable spot for growth in the future because it's allowing me to line my pockets and build up that capital to make these investments that I think we're going to talk about here in the next few minutes. Mm-hmm. Because, okay, that's 1 year, right? After this next year, when I get enough capital, I want to jump into real estate. That
might be a good time because we're in a down market right now. Might be another year or two, but interest rates are spiking. They're going to start coming down eventually, and then they'll curl back up. It's a good way to gauge the real estate market is interest rates. When interest rates are high, prices are going to go down. When interest rates are low, prices are going to go up.
Okay, so as I'm building this plan, right, and I'm looking to invest in the real estate market, what advice would you give to me, others listening? Do you still buy when the rates are up?
I've bought 5-something plus properties this year with high rates because I make my money when I buy a piece of real estate. So let's just say easy math, $1 million property. I need to get it under contract for $700,000. And that gives me an exit strategy. That means I could sell it for $850 the next day, quick, and still make profit. So if the interest rates were 15% and I got a property that was $1 million for $600K, why the fuck would I not buy it? Because that's 15%, $150,000 at the end of the year. I'm still massively in the profit. So every deal that I buy, I have a ton of wiggle room and I add value to it to add more wiggle room. So if I get it at 70% market value, I'm going to improve the property and force another 10, 20% of equity from the jump.
Okay.
I look for value adds.
Okay. So what I gather from that, basically,
anytime's a good time to buy.
As long as I'm getting a discount. As long as I'm not buying
getting a discount,
some bullshit deal.
Somebody who's, passed their property on to their kids say, yeah, screw this, whatever. You buy it from them. Doesn't matter. It's always a good time to buy. Don't be the guy that says, I'm going to time the market. The market's going to crash. Then I'm going to buy my properties, because you will just be sitting and waiting. Everybody told me the exact same thing. Oh, I wouldn't buy real estate right now. 10 years ago. And here we are now. I've been buying real estate ever since.
Okay. Let me ask you this. As I'm approaching a number where I feel comfortable pulling out a home loan, right? Mm-hmm. Getting a mortgage, whatever it may be, seller finance, whatever it may be, getting a house. How much should I have behind in case shit hits the fan?
6 months worth of bills minimum. So if your mortgage is $1,500 a month, $1,000 a month, your insurance is another $200, $300, your property taxes are another $100 a month, plus or minus, you're going to need at least 6 months worth of bills. And the bad part about a home loan is it's, unless you're going to house hack or buy a duplex, triplex, quadplex, it's a liability. So your internet bill, your grass, your AC that goes out, God forbid you ever have termites. I had a termite property once. It sucked. Your house is not exactly a lot. It's not exactly like Robert Kiyosaki says, your house is not a investment. You might make 1% off of a house that you're living in after paying interest, after paying all the bills at the end of the day. What you need to do is duplex, triplex, quadplex, Airbnb, or house hacking. So if you have a house, get 2 or 3 of your friends to rent rooms and at least break even. At least. The house is like I bought 14 plus properties before I ever even considered buying a home.
Did you rent?
Considered, yeah. I was renting.
You rented? You didn't even live in the properties that you owned?
Yeah. I had apartments all over the place, but I rented a house in Foley.
Okay.
I don't think... First off, let's put this one into perspective. This house right now costs me I think $5,500 a month. It's not making me $5,500 a month. Until I got my podcast going, my friends, it's just, this is a horrible, horrible investment, but I've got other things that can pay for it. My Foley house is just costing me money. It's not even doing anything. It never will. Maybe Airbnb, maybe, but I'm in an HOA, so I'm not supposed to. Yeah. You do not need a house. Unless you're going to be there for 20 years, you're going to spend more than you're going to make, probably. You might make $100,000 off the house in 20, 30 years, but you paid $200,000 worth of interest. So it's like, okay, cool. You lost $100,000. I mean, it's not, I mean, there's so many other better things to buy. Go buy like 4 or 5 rental properties first. Buy 4 rental properties. Go buy a quadplex. And then have the rent from that pay for your actual home you want.
Yeah, 100%. My thought process is already there. Like, there's no way I can bring myself to buy a home to live in. Like, it's at least got to be producing cash flow to pay for my home that I live in. Like, my thought process can't allow me to almost, I guess, buy a liability at that point.
Yeah. I bought a lot of assets before I spent money on a car, a boat. I spent everything on every dime that I spent was on something that'll produce me income. Maybe in the next year, Mobile's a good spot. Pensacola is a good spot. Baldwin County will become a good spot. See if you qualify for building a quadplex, because that was
Like
what me and my contractor were talking about.
Like a FHA type C?
So you can 100% finance usually a construction loan almost. So if you do it right, you have the right contractor. Build a quadplex, because there's a shortage of them right now. That was something me and him were talking about. I was like, look, I've got an access to up to $15 million worth of private lending at any time with some people I know out in Texas. If each of these quadplexes cost us $425,000 to build, we're going to be walking into $550 worth of equity from day one. We build 3 or 4 of those. That's an extra $500,000 a year. And if I Airbnb them, we're going to be pulling in an extra $15K a month, $10K a month, times however many quadplexes. And the good thing about quadplexes is they're not multifamily. They're still considered single family.
Really?
So you can get a single family home loan on a quadplex, an FHA loan, a USDA loan, regular conventional, up to 4 units.
Well, the problem, I mean, the face value problem I see with the
it is multifamily. Like, at the end of the day, it is, but the government considers it single family.
Okay. The face value problem I see with that, it's going to take more money up front, right? So I may have to wait a little bit longer, but you're saying that the rewards would be greater waiting a little bit longer to build a little more capital.
Probably. I mean, I put $100K in the bank before I started going gung-ho on real estate. And real estate's a very slow game, so you're not going to get rich overnight with it. Airbnb is the cheat code, but even an extra 2 to 3K a month isn't going to make the world of a difference for you. Now, times 10, yes, but it's going to take you a while to get 10 rentals. I would suggest, God, this is horrible, but just take all the money that you would have spent on real estate, put it into Bitcoin, Ethereum. I would, but don't trade it. Don't trade it. Don't trade it.
Just long.
Don't make my mistake. Just long it and keep building it. And
maybe like 3, 4 leverage.
No.
We got to maximize.
Double maybe.
We got to maximize returns.
Double maybe. Double leverage maybe. Let your crypto or your stocks rise and then borrow against it for real estate.
Okay. I mean, my plan right now, so this is obviously building my money. Spoke about my net worth. My plan right now was I'm not trying to time the market, but I personally see some more blood. I see a little bit more blood here in the near future. So I see a buying opportunity to at least
DCA.
Yeah, at least dollar cost average into the market and make a good size return on my money. And then hopefully within the next few years, that money is double, triple. Because, I mean, stocks are down crazy amounts from their highs. I guess you're saying crypto as well.
Yeah, they're going to come up eventually. I mean, Bitcoin is 1/3 of its high right now. Ethereum is 1/3. You get into discount. If you went to Walmart right now and groceries were 60% off, would you buy more?
Yeah.
Probably would. If your favorite vehicle was 60% off, would you buy 2? Shit, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a discount. Especially when real estate gets hit hard and everybody's panicking and selling. That's going to be the happiest day alive for me. If we can get back down to like $75 a square foot in Baldwin County, I'd be the happiest man alive.
What is it sitting at right now?
Like 130, 120 a square foot minimum.
Just like on the island or just Baldwin County in general?
Foley. This is Foley. Island's even more than that. It's like 200 plus a square foot.
Jesus.
I do most of my buying in Foley just because the rent's the exact same as Orange Beach almost.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it would be nice, just thinking of location, to have a property on the island.
Foley's one of the fastest growing cities right now in Alabama. So is Mobile. Foley's going to be the next Fairhope. That's why I'm buying as much property downtown Foley as I can. I now own close to 25,000 square feet downtown Foley because it's going to eventually be exactly like Fairhope, especially with that big development, OWA. I'm not going to go too far into this because our market might not even be anywhere close to here, but look out for trends, opportunity. Right now, Foley is just growing so quick because of our development. There's going to be a casino one day. One day there's going to be a
probably
casino.
Next 5 years, right?
Should be. Foley is also an opportunity zone for tax benefits. If you don't know what an opportunity zone is, Google it. 10 out of 10 recommend buying in an opportunity zone because there's going to be a lot of developments going on. An opportunity zone basically means they're going to give you tax breaks for like 5 years on the property. So look for those areas.
Okay.
Any city that's an opportunity zone is going to be an opportunity for growth. That's going to attract investors. That's why I picked Foley to handle majority of my properties. I think I've got 4 in Orange Beach and the rest of mine are in Foley. I just see it growing a little bit quicker.
Okay, interesting. So I'll just kind of preface this for the general audience. Give me your advice on, would you say it's more beneficial to buy, you kind of almost answered this, but I'm just going to like make it a more generalized question. Would you say it's more beneficial to buy in a hot area like Orange Beach where the prices will be a little bit higher and have to wait? And maybe it's like a delayed gratification thing, or purchase sooner, maybe within the next 6 months, because I think I could probably have enough capital to purchase something in something like a Foley where it's a little cheaper than Orange Beach. I'm just saying for you guys.
I'd probably go where your budget is. I would personally pick Foley because you could possibly get 2 properties instead of 1. And it's just, look at the rental amounts too. Like I've got a 2-bedroom in Orange Beach, an Airbnb. It's doing between $2,500 to $4,500 a month. I've got a 2-bedroom in Foley doing almost the exact same thing. So look at the rental numbers, and my property in Orange Beach is almost worth double per square foot. So if I were to buy the one in Orange Beach, I'd be making less money.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. So that puts me, that's got to be bare minimum 3 years I start owning property. I mean, that's a little too far out.
It took me 3 years to really start going gung-ho. But I mean, with $30K in the bank, you can go buy 2 properties right now that are both $200K.
Right now, and then not have.
I mean, I probably wouldn't right now, but like you could. Like if you saw a hell of a deal, depending on how your taxes are set up, or if you went private, you could definitely get a property for under 30K.
Okay.
But like, if you want to get risky with it, if I only had 30K, I would go buy a single family house that's not an HOA. I would look for a 2-bedroom, convert it into a 3-bedroom, put bunk beds in 2 of the rooms, put a king size in the other one, sleeper sofa, sleeper love seat, fit as many people in there as possible, and Airbnb it for $5,000 a month.
While you're on this, how much does Airbnb pay per head? Is there like a breakdown?
I think it's like $25 a head. That's just what
I always notice people slamming bunk beds, slamming just beds in there.
I don't know if $25 a month is accurate. That's what I think it is. That's what Airbnb charges per extra person. So $25 a head, you got 10 heads, that's $250 a night.
Okay. And let me ask you about lending, right? So, I mean, I've had Justin on podcast before, and he spoke on, you bought homes strictly through seller financing at the beginning. Would you recommend me getting creative with my financing like that, or just sticking to more conventional like FHA type loans to get?
So it depends on your tax returns. When I was that age, I didn't have good tax returns.
Shit, we got it. Okay. All right, it's on you.
$25 a head. I don't know if that's accurate or not. That's just what Airbnb charges for any extra heads. So 10 people times 25 is $250. So if you can sleep 10 people in your Airbnb, it's $250 a night. That adds up quick. But let's get back to your 10-year plan. Where do you want to be when you're 30 years old? Or who do you want to be? What assets do you want to control? What do you want your net worth to be?
It's a loaded question because I I mean, obviously I'm a big dreamer, and I don't know. I'm kind of at the crossroads of like, do I put out a number that's so astronomically large that it's like unfathomable, or do I put out a realistic number that is like, I know I can hit, but it's gonna take some work.
I gauged mine by rental properties. It was 25 by 25 years old. That was one of my goals. So I don't know if that's applicable to you.
Well, I don't really have anything to gauge it off of besides social media. And to my knowledge now, 250K basically pays me $50K a year.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get to $1 million, $200K a year.
Yeah.
Potentially. Sounds about, I mean, it makes sense. I think it probably exponentially grows once you get to a certain level. I'm sure it probably caps, but I think by the time 21 now, I think by the time I'm 30, if I can continue growing at the rate that I'm at on social media, because that's all I know. I can't speak for real estate because I don't have properties yet. But on social media, if I continue growing at the rate that I am, I think I can hit 1 million followers way before 10 years.
I'm going to try to do that by the end of the year.
Yeah, I think I can
hit. My number in my head is 10 million across the board for you. YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
Instagram.
That's 100%. It's hard to get that on one platform, but I think
10 million across the board.
Yeah, I think scattered. It could be possible.
That's a lot of followers.
Well, with the amount of content that we're about to be pumping out, I think it's very feasible that could happen. Now, I wouldn't say a year. I'd say maybe 3.
I think we can get you to 1 million in a year. You got to 250 in a year, and like money, the first 100K is a bitch. It's the hardest thing you're ever gonna do. 100K to a million was so easy for me, but 250K, you're growing. Like we said the other day, you say you're growing 10K a month as far as followers go on average.
Yeah, I was checking last night. My last month was 15K.
Okay, so that's like what, 8% a month you're growing. Those are solid returns. So let's say you have 8% of 100K. That's 8K in a month. The next month it's like 8.3, and it keeps compounding after that. So the more you grow, the faster you're going to grow, the more reach you have to go viral. So I think 250 to 1 million is doable, especially with what we've been talking about.
I agree. I think
you're doing one a day. I mean,
wait till I crank it up to 3.
Yeah, that's 4. What I'm saying. Like, just being around me, I'm not going to be doing borderline shit. I mean, I'm doing 3 to 5 a day right now, going full force with it. So if we just keep at this pace, in a year, 3 videos a day minimum, and that's 3 videos a day on just one platform, we're going to start cranking it up to where it's 3 videos a day on each platform.
Well, you also have to implement too. Like I did that alone. Yeah. Imagine growing together like and one big unit just working.
We have employees now too, and we're going to have VAs. So not only is it me and you masterminding it, we've got other people helping us too. And I've got an entire network of people trying to help us grow too. Just immediate circle. You talked about your friends. You start having to pick and choose who you want in your life. I've already done that, and I've already been there, and I've got a group of 10 plus that are all heavy hitters, and they're going places in life. And you've met a few of them, but I've hyped you up to them, and a couple of them have met you, and they all pretty much have adopted you without even meeting you. So
awesome.
I carry some social help with that too. You carry more social media help, but socially, financially, I'm gonna help you out the best I can.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are gonna have a front row seat, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, because who knows where it's going.
So let's agree that 10 million at 30.
10 million across the board by the time I'm 30 years old.
I would imagine your net worth would be 2 to 3 million easily.
By the time I'm 30?
Easily. If you got 10 million followers, it's gonna be more than that.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and I agree there, but I think if I diversify over the years, I think if I grow to 1 million followers by next year, by this time next year, by Christmas next year, I'll call it 1 million followers. That's the goal.
Doable.
I will hit that goal. And I'm
across
not saying,
the board?
I'm not saying on one platform. I'm saying across the board.
Across
the board, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all your platforms, 1 million followers overall by December 20, like Christmas of next year.
Okay.
Put that goal out there. But going back into what I was saying, 10-year plan, I think 10 million by 30 is feasible, but I think $2 to $3 million net worth, if I have 10 million followers and diversify along the way, like diversify my money into different assets, it should definitely be more than that.
Definitely be more than that.
I think 10 is a
10 million by 30. That's hard. Even with 10 million followers across the board, that might be hard. 10 million is a lot of money net worth wise. I've got gross more than 10 million right now. My net's not even half of that right now.
I personally think
It's doable.
I personally think, based off knowing you, if you had the vehicle, if you had the social media vehicle running, you would be there.
I'd probably be double the net worth.
Yeah.
I hope you do hit it. I hope you do. But I'm betting
Maybe gross was the term I should have used.
2 to 3 million net, probably.
I think gross was the term I should have used, just based off like assets and everything else.
Okay, gross 10 million. I like that because I was more concerned with my gross than my net, where it's like I own $10 million worth of real estate. Now my goal is 20. Then the goal after that's going to be $50 million. And I'm just going to let my debt mature and pay itself off. And eventually, after 30 years, I'll be worth whatever that is plus appreciation. So my net worth and your net worth in real estate doesn't really mean a lot because it's not liquid. You can't just reach out there and grab it. It takes 3 months for you to borrow against it, and there's a bunch of rules. You are not liquid with real estate. So having a net worth of a couple million in real estate doesn't really mean a lot if shit hits the fan. So 2 to 3 million net worth, gross 10 million of assets, 10 million followers across the board. That sounds like a doable goal in 9 more years.
I think so too.
I really think you could do that because you're walking the same path I'm on, and I'm dangerously close to that myself. Minus the 10 million followers, it's not. I'm nowhere near that.
And you're almost on year 9, right? Without a social media vehicle, without basically a jetpack.
Pretty much. Yeah, I'm going on year 10, but I hit every goal that I set for myself.
Okay, well, as I'm building this 10-year plan, let me ask you this. When you were building yours, did you set goals that were almost out of reach, or you thought they were out of reach, or did you set goals that were reasonable that you...
1 year, 5 year, 10 year goals.
But your 10-year goal, we're talking like my gross, just 10 million just now. Did you set I'm just using this as an example, but when you set your goal, whether it be a number, or if it was a number, did you set it, I'm just using this as an example because I don't know what your number was, but if you set 100 million versus 10 million, because 10 million's more attainable, right? Yeah. 100 million. Did you set it high, or did you just to make yourself strive for more, or did you set it something where you felt like you could
I don't
hit?
like the idea of setting goals too high because then they're just unachievable and you're never going to hit them. You need to reward yourself. That's why I set multiple goals that align with each other. I thought 10 million was doable. You got to really know yourself. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, shoot for 100 million. And then if you fail, even if you get 10%, I don't quite agree with that. If you know you're not going to hit 100 million, don't say 100 million. You got to be a lucky kind of guy to hit 100 million. So tone it back, know yourself, and set realistic goals, but they're going to push you. So set a realistic goal that you have to push yourself for. Okay. It's there's a Gary V quote. There's like which one's better, or which one is the early bird, or which one's better, the bird that wakes up early or the bird that's talented? My friend Bradley asked this question, and he was like, the bird that knows itself. I got short wings. Fuck it, I'll get up earlier. I just butchered the hell out of that, but know yourself.
I get what you're saying.
If you like, Gary Vee is not the smartest guy. He's really not. He's not the smartest guy, but he's one of the hardest working men on this planet. That's how he compensates for it. I know for a fact I'm not the smartest guy in this world. I'm above average at best. I will outwork almost anyone if I put my mind to it. 18-hour days, cool, whatever it takes. So know yourself. And I'm assuming you're probably a little bit smarter than me at that age, at 21. So you'll get there a little bit quicker. And you seem like you have that infatigability and the consistency. And just keep doing that, and you'll get there. So I think 10 million, 2 to 3 million net worth, $10 million of gross assets is a very attainable goal for you.
I think this is something that I need to, because this is me just doing it on podcasts for the first time. I think it's something I really need to like sit with and write down and really figure out, like personally, like just sit with for a good hour and think about it and write down the numbers, see what works out.
I think 10 million is an easy number to remember. The only thing I think you should play with is the net worth, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, you being in, social media, not just gung-ho with real estate, that net worth could be a lot higher. But maybe don't even focus on one. Let's get you to 10 million followers, and then the money will follow after that. So your big stick is social media. Mine was real estate. Stick to what you know. You're excelling in social media. You're not doing anything in real estate right now. You know, we can get you in real estate when the time comes. That's just moving money from one vehicle to another. Stick to social media. Double down on social media. Put more money into social media ads. You'll get a better return from social media ads than you will with any piece of real estate.
100%. 100%.
I'm not about to stick $100 into a piece of real estate or versus an ad and get an extreme ROI in my business. So, you know, stick to the social media. Make your main goal social media because it's not going anywhere. It's actually going to get worse. Like your entire life is going to be social media at one point. You're going to be living in the metaverse one day.
Yeah, that's scary to think about.
One day. You're already there. Like we already have the virtual reality goggles, the Oculus. People are already doing that.
Scary stuff, man. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know about you, but
it's got its positives and negatives.
It's probably a topic for another podcast.
For another night. I'm a big fan of it, but to use it as a tool.
I understand.
Not to let it consume your whole life.
Well, I think for the time being, I need to take a step back because, playing off what you're saying, social media, right? That's my vehicle. But what's driving that vehicle right now is Millionaire in the Making. Mm-hmm. So the goal right now, the main focus, everything I live, breathe, wake up, do, try and become a millionaire. But it's so weird because I'm in this circle. I'm trying to become a millionaire. How am I doing it? Social media. So it's like, I didn't originally plan to do this. I originally planned to start a business and make it that way. But my main income source is based off social media. And that was just the machine that I was using to put out.
That is your business.
But it's such a weird circle because I'm literally I'm trying to become a millionaire and show people that it's like a realistic goal and you can do it. And it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, as long as you believe in yourself and stay consistent and do it, you can do it. But it's so fucked because like it's with the thing that I started to push it out. So it's just such a weird equation. And
so that's good because you're proving that social media is your business.
I guess.
You started off as documenting how you're going to become a millionaire, and now you're on your path to doing it by accident with social media. So don't disrupt your path. Stay on it. Don't try to get into real estate and be a real estate guru. Don't try to be a day trader and be like somebody on Wall Street. You're going to get fucked by these computers. You're not faster than any of these bots. Citadel will wreck you every time. Stay on your social media path because you have a talent. Not a lot of people 21 are doing what you're doing. Stick with that. And I think it'll pay off for you. The same conversation I would have with myself, stay on the real estate path. I did that and it paid off beautifully. I wouldn't have changed a thing, except for maybe add more social media, of course. But that wouldn't have made me as happy as what I did in real estate. And now that I've killed my real estate goal and I can relax on that a little bit, I can venture off into other things, social media, which real estate and social media kind of go hand in hand. But
yeah, I hear you. It's just such a weird thing because, like, let's just use this as an example. Like, you had a steak dinner. Your steak was real estate. That was your main course. Yeah. And you can sprinkle some social media in there, right, to make a little bit of extra money, you know, selling whatever you sell via that. But it's just such a weird dynamic because I just don't know how to navigate it yet. It's just
you're an influencer now. That's your job, is being an influencer. By grinding. So you got a hard path ahead of you because you got to keep grinding. But
yeah. It's such a weird dynamic because I feel like I created this challenge and this whole journey to be real, raw, and open with like you guys. And if I'm being real, raw, and open with you guys are paying me. By watching my videos, by liking my videos, by sharing and doing everything that you do. I don't know what you do, but thank you.
Attention.
You're paying me. So whether that means I'm doing something right, I just don't exactly know what it is yet. But I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing and keep pushing. And like you said,
I think it's the consistency and the motivation and the plan of action and the openness is what people are subscribing to. Because that's what magnetized me towards you. I was like, he's keeping track of everything he's doing every single day, and he's not stopping. I saw myself in that, but you're broadcasting it for the open world. I only broadcasted it on Facebook and Snapchat. So it took me, it made me do some self-evaluating and altered the course of my life just by watching your series. So you're impacting somebody who's 9 years ahead of you in a positive way. The same way when I was 21 buying all these properties, I had people that were 40, 50 years old coming to me for advice. So that's why I'm so impressed with it. I'm like, I'm learning a lot from you social media wise. You're going to learn a lot from me real estate wise and just for other earthly things.
That's crazy to think about, man. And that's honestly one of the other things that's not monetary, but that needs to be added to the plan. Because like I said in the previous podcast, I get DMs from people and it's like, bro, you motivated me to do this. You motivated me to make a change. You motivated me to do this and this and this and all this. And I'm just like you said, like I'm changing people's outlook on the reality that they live every single day. And I'm motivating people to do stuff. And it's just, that needs to be added into the plan. I hear it too much now and I just need to swallow the pill and realize that I'm actually making a difference. And it's so hard because I try and be a humble guy and like say that it's just, it doesn't feel good coming out of me yet being like, damn, I'm making a difference. But that does need to be in the plan. Because if I have the platform to push, not a narrative, but like good, positive content that's actually going to help people, I really need to focus on that and just pump that up more. Because I'm a firm believer if I add value to other people, I will get paid back 10x in return.
Yeah. Just with their eyes alone, with just watching your content, you're going to get paid. That's the return right there. It's a hell of a deal. They get to improve their life. You get money from it without them pulling $1 out of their pocket. That's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Social media's.
That's why I love it.
Imagine what happened. So, you've been around social media a lot longer than me. 10 years older than me. The past 10 years, it's what?
It's a whole different animal.
Whole different animal. It's a beast.
Yeah. I really started, I guess, maturing when Facebook really became a thing. So I got to watch people switch from MySpace to Facebook.
Can you give a year? What?
Well, let's see, MySpace, I was in like the 6th grade. So I was like 11, 12 years old, I think.
So I was born. I was getting...
11, 12 was when MySpace came out.
My mom was pushing me out at that time.
Then after MySpace, it went to Facebook, and then Vine became popular. Snapchat then came out, Instagram. Snapchat's always been my favorite personally. That's what I used to communicate with my friends. I don't use it as like a social media source. I use it as like if you text me, there's a huge chance you're not going to get a text back because I'm just getting bombarded by messages. But I give my Snapchat out to people that I actually like and I know in real life. If I don't know you, you're not on my Snapchat. You're like in my close circle, I guess. So I've always used Snapchat as like a tool to keep up with my friends and stay more personal. TikTok came out of nowhere, and it's what Vine should have been. So you picked the perfect time to really start blasting it over the past year.
Well, this whole organic reach thing wasn't around. Like, obviously you had to pay on Facebook for ads, right?
Yeah.
But there's never been an organic algorithm. I think that's what TikTok changed the
Instagram,
game.
kind of.
It was
YouTube,
super rare,
Instagram,
though.
kind of.
I guess YouTube's had that organic algorithm, but
YouTube's just a whole different animal.
until TikTok, nothing was anywhere close
TikTok's
to it.
kind of like the healthy mix of everything.
Except China. I don't know how much longer it's going to be around because of it being a Chinese-based app, Chinese-owned app.
It's going to be very hard to knock it off, though.
Yeah.
There's too many influencers on it. That would piss a lot of people off.
That'll be interesting. One thing I need to do better is diversify. I know you're just getting started and you really want to push TikTok, but we have to diversify.
Yeah.
I mean, you see this is obviously my 10-year plan, but I just want to talk about this right now. Tell your story about being banned while we're on the social media topic.
So I had about 25,000 followers between Instagram. I had like 16 on Instagram, 4 or 5 on my personal Facebook page, and then my business Facebook page had about 5,000 plus. And I was in a real estate group, private real estate group, by the way. And the main headline said, "What would you do if the real estate market collapsed?" And I wrote a comment under. I said, "I'd sell my kidney and just buy more." 3 months later, I get a notification that says your account has been temporarily disabled for 30 days. I was like, the hell is this? And then it showed me the comment. I was like, I made this like 3 months ago, and why the hell is it a big deal? My body, my choice, right? If I want to sell my kidney, I will. What happened to that movement? And then when I went to go appeal it, it said, your account's now permanently banned. And I was like, okay, well, that sucks. I've got my childhood friends. I've got pictures of me and my dead friends, and I've got pictures of, family. I've got like memories that pop up. It's pretty much my whole life. And then I went to go open my Instagram, and since they were linked, it banned both of them. I was like, oh, this is just a shit deal. So that caused me, it was actually one of the best things that ever happened to me, because my social life wasn't exactly the best. It was growing rapidly. I made a conscious decision to fix my social life a year ago and just surround myself with nothing but positive people. It caused me to, one, I moved into my new house. It let me focus on growing closer to my close friends, like my immediate circle. I spent more time with them instead of being on Facebook all day, instead of being on TikTok and Instagram, just scrolling through. I was wasting hours and hours a day. Turn your metrics on your phone and then look at it after a week, and you're gonna be disgusted with how much time you actually spend on social media a day that's not productive. You can't tell me you're on Instagram for 3 hours or 2 hours in a day and it's all business. No. It really caused me to focus on my real life, because my social media was amazing. Like, it was a highlight reel. I was showing all my traveling. I was showing all of my friends, all the, positive things in life. I didn't post a lot of negative things except for my Snapchat every now and then, but it really made me realize these are the things that's wrong in my life. These are the things that's right. And I took a break and just focused on myself and my friends. And those 3 months, I got so much stuff done. It was absolutely amazing. But now that I got those things done and I needed to handle them, I can now devote 10 times the amount of time into social media now. So Zuckerberg banning me for no reason was actually the biggest gift of my life, because then I could do a whole reset on all the negativity out of my life. I don't have 4,000 plus, 5,000 plus Facebook friends anymore, followers. I don't care what people think as much anymore. And now whenever I post something, I don't have people I went to high school with just bombarding me. So it's a little bit of a break. And now I can pick and choose who I want in my life now. The part that does suck is I lost my Instagram.
Yeah.
That really pissed me off, because I had 16,000 followers and it took me like years to get that.
Yeah, that's rough. Well, social media as a whole, based off your story, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, right? Yeah. I firmly believe if you're not creating content, it's no good unless you're streamlining. So say, YouTube, right? You're subscribed. Unless it's all business, unless it's all stuff that's beneficial to you, you can hop on there and you're not going to have any, girls shaking ass or anything that's just going to like deter you from getting shit done or watching stuff that's beneficial. I think it's a curse, because I was in the same dilemma as you, where I was just sitting there and 3 hours go by. I'm still on TikTok. What am I doing? My day's over.
Yeah.
One quick tip that I did to combat that, I'm sure a lot of you guys are going through the same thing. If you're not, I promise you are. If you're watching this right now, after this video, click off, go do something else. Go do something beneficial. But if you have an iPhone, in your settings, you can change it to grayscale. And I'm not sure what the science behind it is.
Blue light.
But I think you get a dopamine hit from seeing the colors. When I turn it to grayscale, when I have to get shit done, it almost makes you want to just throw my phone away. It's so ugly. It does not. Something in our brains clicks with the colors that they put on those apps.
You can do screen time too and limit your screen time per app.
Oh yeah, and just lock you out.
I mean, it'll send you notifications over and over again and be just annoying. I always ignored it though. I turned it off after a while. I was just like, oh, cool. I've been on social media for an hour now. Ignore.
Yeah, I'm telling
you.
But
it lets you know. It's like, okay, cool. I'm making a conscious decision. That's a bad one. Okay, cool. I accept the consequences now.
Yeah, you got to try it. That grayscale stuff works.
I've got you tap 3 times on the side of your phone.
Oh, yeah.
And then it'll switch it to grayscale for mine. I just never use it, but I should.
I
just haven't had social media, so I haven't had to.
Yeah. 100%.
So I spend all my time on YouTube watching like Jordan Peterson, Elliot Hulse, Fresh and Fit. A lot of Andrew Tate lately, whether you love him or hate him.
Speaking of Andrew Tate, while we're on the topic of you getting banned, Justin got banned, and I'm almost certain that basically most of you watching, if you're organic and aren't a local guy, you probably didn't know who Justin was. No. That's the level of, I guess, corrupt. I don't know if you want to call it corruption or like shit show that's going on in social media, that just local people who say the tiniest things that aren't even that edgy.
So 3 months ago, my conspiracy theory is I started posting a lot of red pill stuff, started posting a lot of Andrew Tate stuff, started posting a lot of Fresh and Fit stuff. Somehow I started
Think he started climbing the list on that side?
I imagine that like the Andrew Tate ban probably was calculated for months. So there's so many other accounts that got banned for just mentioning and posting videos of Andrew Tate.
I think that's why they clipped Sneeko. They got him for what, Corona stuff, but I think they clipped him when he was at the house. So I think it's the red pill. What is so bad about the red pill narrative that do you have any thoughts on that?
I do. So I was red pilled before it was ever even a trend or a word or a topic. Whenever my girlfriend cheated on me at 18 and I took the vow of sobriety and self-improvement, I was watching all those videos like Rollo Tomasi years ago before it took off. They don't want masculine men. They want emasculated men because, one, they're going to spend more money. They're not going to be as combative. They're not going to want to do anything, any type of uprisings, riots, nothing like that. And they want to masculate females, which is horrible for society. Horribly.
I've noticed it. It's like an uproar right now. It's getting pretty bad.
Yeah, and people are catching on to it. That's why a lot of red pill stuff, got a lot of girls who are like rejecting Cardi B now, rejecting Meg Thee Stallion, rejecting Kim Kardashian. They know that that's not a healthy long-term plan. So it's starting to whiplash on them. When the pendulum swings really, really far to the left, when it swings back, you get Andrew Tate. You get the knockout punch, and they didn't like that one. They didn't like that, and now they can't stop him.
Yeah.
There's no stopping him right now. He doesn't have any in social medias, and he's one of the most Googled, most followed men ever.
I know it probably doesn't seem that way because we're in the middle of that event, but I think that's one of the biggest
turning
events
points
to ever happen in social media history.
They banned in the past year a sitting U.S. president. A sitting U.S. president got banned on all social media. That's scary. I'm not even going to get into that one. You can just digest that however you want. A sitting U.S. president got banned by 5 or 6 companies, completely deplatformed. Andrew Tate got banned for what?
Who knows, man?
Nothing.
Who knows?
What is his discernible? If you told me he said something that was just absolutely evil, like that wasn't said before, something that's like he got caught for doing something illegal, he has no legal charges. What is the one thing he did that just got him banned? I can't find it.
My personal thoughts on that would kind of be along the lines of what I believe red pill is at the same time. I wouldn't say breeding men, but he's influencing young men to become free thinkers. And that's what they don't want.
Yeah.
Because free thinkers don't scroll on TikTok all day. They aren't bots. They aren't sheep. They don't just sit there and do what whoever the powers that be want them to do.
I think it was Socrates who got killed for empowering younger men. It was either Socrates or Aristotle. He got poisoned in jail.
100%. From the beginning of time, no one has liked people who promote free thinking because then you deviate from the norm, and the norm is exactly what they need to keep, wealth, power?
Yeah. So we'll dive into the red pill conversation another night. I don't want to spook some people yet. We'll do the empowering later. Let's get back to your 10 million plan for social media, and let's develop a plan and wrap this up.
Okay. And
give people some influence on how to really set goals. So right now you're at 250. At the end of the year, you'll be at 1 million. How are we going to get you to 10 million after that? How are we going to get you to 1 million? Let's do that one first.
All right. Well, let's say right now 250. In 250, I've posted 250 days straight with at least one piece of content, maybe 2 some days dribbled in there.
Every video got you 1,000 followers on average.
In theory, which is crazy.
Yes.
But what if, this is obviously going to be implemented in the plan. What if I double that, triple that? I think
3,000 a day.
I think the smart play and feasible play is to triple that immediately. So thank God this podcast is resurrected. This will help me triple that and help me triple that easily because it's a pain in the ass making those million in the making videos every single day. But this is streamlined. This can be pumped out and, automated almost. So right there, triple that. I think in the next, year, that will help me push to 1 million.
If you can triple it, that's 750. And I'm sure, and that's tripling it on TikTok. That's before YouTube Shorts. That's before.
Yeah, I'm talking 1 million across the board.
Across the board, yeah.
TikTok may take a couple years. Instagram, everything else to get to 1 million will take a couple years, but definitely across the board, it is feasible within a year. Let's just say a year from now.
Instagram hasn't even taken off yet. You've only got like 2,500 followers, right?
No, yeah, I got little quick tip before we jump into the rest of the plan: do not spam post stuff on Instagram. They do not like it. So
TikTok, you can kind of.
a little bit better than Instagram, yeah. But I ran like 100 videos in one day. And
Jesus. That doesn't even sound like a good idea. Impressive, though.
I was just grinding like for 12 hours, like post, all right, wait 5 minutes, post, wait 5 minutes, post. And then the next day I'm like, damn, I got like 10 views altogether.
I mean, I love the hustle. Maybe you should have scheduled the post. That's what I'm doing right now. That's why I started clipping the podcast, and I was like 15-second interviews or little 15-second segments.
Yep.
3 a day. I've got, for every hour podcast, that's like a week's worth of content that I can just set on autopilot. 100 posts in a day. That's impressive. That's got to be like a record or something.
Probably. They were probably like, oh, fuck this kid. He's not getting
like, oh, we don't want this shit again.
Yeah. So
3 times a day.
3 times a day.
That's doable. So how long do you think that's going to take you throughout your day?
To post 3 times a day?
30 minutes?
Max. Let's say to create my Millionaire in the Making video, which is I'm passionate about. So I put an hour aside of that, I'd say a day, to sit there and film for 5 minutes in every single spot and then edit for 10 minutes at the end of the day. That's probably about an hour. And then the other posts, if VAs are hired for this production set, then I think an hour a day for 3 posts, which is paying me, in theory, 1,000 followers a post. So 3,000 followers a day for an hour's work in a year. Exponential growth. I think a large level of growth will happen, like the percentage wise, as I reach a higher follower count. So I think the numbers may start to, I guess you could say, just rise as I grow in followers. So
should. Compounds.
Yeah, compound. That was the word I was looking for. I was sitting there fumbling that in my head for like 5 minutes. But yeah, I think it'll compound over time, and I think 1 million in a year is feasible. And then from there, uncharted waters. So it's hard to plan that because I think
1 million to 2 is going to come easier than 0 to 250.
You think
easily.
So?
Yeah.
I don't see that's so different because it's different than money, right? Social media world's different because there's a finite amount of people who are interested in what you preach, interested in what you push.
How many people are interested in what you push, though? Self-help and development, and it's pretty much every 16 to 25-year-old or 16 to 30-year-old, really. So I don't think there's a shortage of people looking for what you're doing.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you're right. It is one of the biggest spaces.
And you're hopping in the red pill community soon. That's a whole nother market.
Yeah, stay tuned. A couple more episodes down the line, we'll get into that. So
3 times a day.
3 times a day, 1 year, 1 million.
You're already killing it in the gym.
The
so
board.
4 times a week in the gym is what I'd prescribe to people. 3 times a day, social media. And I think what would the themes of your other 2 videos be? Would it just be Millionaire in the Making, or would you create like a separate series?
I'm going to implement some business content for my business just to help sprinkle in there because that'll bring in income for me as well, but it'll also help people out. Like my business is literally helping out other creators. And that's the agenda that I'm pushing, is that if you're a creator, you're better off than a watcher in the social media world. So I'll implement that, and then I'll implement this. So I think it's easy, three a day for a year. It's super easy. And then
I think to keep your timeline easy, you could do your first video, Millionaire in the Making, and then 2 help ones after that. And then your entire right column, middle column, or left column on your TikTok
will look the same.
would be like day 20 or 225.
Oh, yeah, that'd be sick.
226, and you just keep that format the whole time.
That would be sick.
That way you don't just like look confusing. So when somebody pulls up your page, they're like,
holy crap,
they're like, Millionaire in the Making, a fun video, and then some help video, like in that order, to where when you pull up your page, it's super organized and super professional looking.
I do like that. I think
free game.
I think that's a damn good idea. I've never even thought of that in the slightest. I think that will come with time. I think I'll figure out, get my rhythm, find my momentum, and just as long as I stay consistent with that, that will happen. That's 1 year. 5 years to 10 years. I just don't know. It's such uncharted waters with social media, so I don't know.
You could get 10 million in 2 years if
you never know.
Happens,
you just never know. So it's hard to plan social media wise, but
you could do the work though to kind of push yourself in that direction. So I think if you're posting 3 times a day just on TikTok, we're going to push other platforms just as hard, but 3 times a day, it's going to be hard for you not to get traction with that.
We'll see. It'll be very interesting, and it'll be,
especially because you've got content that other people want. It's not like you're just doing random dances. It's not like you're just doing funny videos. It's consistent. People follow it. and they absorb it really well.
I think as long as I add value to the marketplace, I'll be paid in dividends and followers and stuff like that in the future, which is great. It'll help me make money. But making 50K with 250,000 followers now, if I make $1 million, or if I hit a million followers across all platforms in a year, in theory, that's 200K. And then in theory, if I am making 200K in a year, that's more than enough for me to be free. More than enough.
Cut that in half, you're still free.
Based off your 75K.
I could live off 75K and be happy right now. Could, but I mean, I'm not, so I'm not going to like go backwards. Yeah. But like, you know, there's not that much of a difference between, you know, when I was making 75K a year, I was driving one of the Camaros, the newer ones. I was just as happy in that as my Corvette right now. Pretty much.
I can believe it.
I mean, it's a nicer car, but I deserve that Camaro. I deserve this Corvette. It's the same value in my head. I'm going to be happy regardless. I'm never going to buy a Lamborghini. McLaren's my dream car. I'm going to still be the same exact level of happiness as right now because I deserve my Corvette because I've worked so hard for it. I deserve that McLaren. And all it's going to do is just, it might spike me up a little bit, but then I'm going to go sideways instead of somebody who says, oh, I got rich, I'm going to go buy a Lamborghini. All of a sudden it's like happiness, spike right back down. It's like, oh, cool. You know, you bought the Lamborghini. Cool, you're a badass.
You don't really hear many, I guess, wealthy people talk about that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that perspective. That's pretty cool to hear. Just
because if you just trick your mind or switch your mindset into saying, I'm going to buy a boat and it's going to make me happy. It's like, maybe it's an object. It's pretty hard to get happy off objects, but it's like, I'm going to buy a boat, take my friends out. We're going to have a good time. I deserve this. I deserve to have these experiences. It's a whole different mindset.
Yeah, that's awesome because that's it's such a common misconception. Like, say you open up TikTok right now, I guarantee you'll scroll through a video of like little kids commenting on a video about somebody hopping in a Lamborghini and then like flexing and all this. It's just like
he could be a miserable
yeah,
person.
You never know.
Car.
So it's interesting to hear your take on
I've
that.
been very, very rich and I've been very, very poor. I'm still the same exact person regardless. Money's just an amplifier. So if you're a good person, it's going to turn you into a great person. If you're a bad person, it's going to turn you into a horrible person because then you have the power to do things. So marinate on that one. I mean, I'd much rather have money than not have it. Like, shit, I'd rather be sad in a nice house than, you know, happy in the rain, you know,
oh, yeah.
like homeless.
That sounds like a no-brainer.
Balance of probability right there on which one you want. But I just know from experience, there's been times where I've had an abundance of money and everything else was falling apart in life and I wasn't happy. And now I'm at the point in my life where it's like I'm surrounded by such good people. I'm doing positive things that even if I went broke tomorrow, I'd smile and say, I'll get it right back. It's not a big deal. Like last week, I had $200,000 stolen from me. I didn't even frown. I was just like, okay, cool. It'll come back. Whatever. I got friends that love me. I got a house. I've got opportunities in front of me. I have people that depend on me. It's whatever. Get it back.
It's such a different life, man. Like, I can just imagine, you know, sitting on the other side of this camera right now, watching this video and seeing, it's literally the epitome of like somebody trying to become a millionaire and like the mentor. This is a super cool dynamic to see. Like, I would love to be on the other side of this camera watching this.
That's why I gravitated towards this. I was like, I see a good thing. I know a good thing when I see it. I wish I had something like this when I was 18, 19, 21. I kind of did. I had mentors that were older, but it wasn't as consistent as a YouTube channel like this or just something that I could follow along just like this. I mean, it used to be I'd go in my boss's office once a week, once every other week. He would cuss me out for like 5-10 minutes. I would love every minute of it. I would walk out a year or more wise from just 5-10 minutes of conversations with that man. But now listening to Jordan Peterson every day, Elliot Hulse, a lot of the people in the Red Pill community, I spend an hour listening to them and it's like I gain a month's worth of wisdom. And that's how I've really grown, is listening to older people. So definitely take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. I'm grateful that we
keep on the path. And one of my things in life that I'm most known for is keeping people holding them accountable and keeping them consistent. Any of my friends can vouch for that. I'm the guy that's like, we're going to the gym today. And they're like, no. I'm like, yeah, we are. If you're in my house, I'm about to drag you out. We're going. Hey, we're going to go for a run. Hey, we're going to, go for a bike ride. But my non-negotiables are, if you're a man, you need to be in the gym at least 3 to 4 times a week, doing something active. And, it could be the gym. It could be jiu-jitsu. You need to be spending at least 4 hours a week on your body, staying active. And that is a non-negotiable. In the business world, I would keep you even more accountable, because that's only 4 hours a week I'm asking from you in the gym. That's easy. 40, 50, 60, 80 hours a week in the business world, that's hard.
Damn, yeah.
That's hard. Right. And I'm not talking about 40, 60,
out.
80 hours a week, flipping burgers or, sitting behind a cash register or, digging a ditch, doing construction. I need you to be doing time productive activities where 1 hour of your time is equivalent to 20 hours of somebody else's time. And when you can do that multiplied by 40, 60, 80 hours a week, your growth is going to become exponential. I'm huge into cramming 20 years worth of work into 5 years and being able to kick back after that. Eventually, you're going to become so efficient that you don't have to put as much energy into it unless you want to. And then it just keeps compounding after that.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to touch on before we kind of end this out, is as I'm building this 5-10 year plan, right, I'm going to be grinding to get to all these levels and achieve all these milestones that I've set in place. But you just mentioned right there, at what point, because I noticed that you like to, I'll let you tell your stories, but I know you like to let loose a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What, just before we end, what milestones did you let loose at, and what milestones what milestones would you recommend me? This is my 5-10 year plan. What milestones would you recommend me let loose at? Because I'm just a super flatline guy.
When you hit 500K, you need to go have fun for a weekend. Celebrate. Grab all your closest friends. Go clubbing or something. Go to the beach. Do something. I love going to clubbing is my favorite thing. I love buying 4 or 5 or 6 bottles, sparklers all over the place. My friends are all taking pictures of each other. Everyone's having a good time. My women aren't getting harassed by just dudes coming up and groping on them in the club. They got their own little private spot to dance and enjoy themselves. My guy friends don't have to worry about people stepping on their shoes and stuff, starting fights. That's my favorite form of celebrating. And then every quarter we'll go to a music festival and just let loose. When you hit 1 million, you need to take a trip for a week and just go wild. And you don't celebrate enough. You need to be celebrating more.
Yeah.
Not partying, celebrating.
Yeah.
And that could be a dinner with wine, steak and wine. One of my, if I'm not clubbing, my most favorite thing to do is to just cook dinner with 4 or 5 or 6 of my friends, bust open 2 or 3 bottles of wine, eat steak, have some decent music going in the background, and we all just talk about how grateful we are to have lives that are just as wild and luxurious as we live.
Okay, that's interesting. I was just interested to hear.
What do you do for fun? Because I got caught in that trap from 18 to 21 where I just had no fun. I still went out with my friends, but I was a zombie. I was still working.
I don't club. I don't like to drink. I don't like to party. That's not me.
I'm sober pretty much every time I go out with my friends, except for club nights, which is once every other month probably.
Just something about me, man. I despise that environment. It's just not.
I get it.
I just don't find joy in it. I find more joy in going to the beach and skimboarding, or just doing stuff with like you were saying, having the homies over, cook some burgers.
Yeah,
just simple things.
Pretty much half of our week. So we spend one night a week here having a cigar night, and we cook almost every other night here. So I've already got that down for you.
Well, it's super, I guess, eye-opening that you say that, because I was asking the question to hopefully help them out, because all you see on social media is grind. But
for what?
Yeah.
What are you grinding for?
I'm at the point now where I'm really close to burning out.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks to, surrounding myself with people like Justin, I understand that it's okay to just kick back for a minute. It's okay, because you have to take that. Well, you said you fell into the dilemma of not doing it, but thankfully I know him and I can learn from his mistakes.
Work really, really hard and just let loose for a weekend. Or something I've been doing lately is just shifting my grind. So if I get really tired of real estate, I'll shift to something else. Like right now, I've shifted from 2 years of a real estate and crypto grind to a social media grind, and it's like a reset. It doesn't even feel like working at this point.
Well, damn, dude, you're up at 3 a.m. filming. We've been filming for 6 hours.
I mean, I'm cool with that. Like, this doesn't work right now. Like, for me, me being at my gym all day, it's not really work. Me doing mortgages, managing contractors, furnishing Airbnbs, I hate that stuff with a burning passion. But I know that's the work you got to do to pay you for years to come. So I'm okay with it sucking right now if it pays me for 50, 60, 70, 80 years. So it's a good trade-off.
I gotcha. Well,
we got your plan down.
Yep. We
got a method for it. I think the viewers learned a lot from this. I don't want to overwhelm them.
I agree.
Save it for the next episode. And I know you're going to Paris tomorrow. Lucky.
Paris in 3 hours, dude. If we're up here filming, I got to make a flight in a minute, so.
Lucky. You got plenty of time to sleep on that flight.
Yeah, we'll be all right. But the cool thing about this, I thought at least, the cool thing about this is you're going to see my plan unfold. You're going to see it every single day. We're going to keep having podcasts. I'm going to keep posting. So be sure to follow me on all socials, GageB10. Make sure you follow Justin as well. We're getting him growing. He's going to be growing super
quick.
We'll see.
We just got to
get. I'm trying to drill into his head that he needs to diversify. So he's going to plug TikTok, but basically remember his username that he's
TikTok,
about to say, and
YouTube
we're going to
Shorts.
Disperse it everywhere else.
It's Justin Cahano on both platforms, YouTube and TikTok. So I'll get it to where it posts on both. Right now, I'm really pushing Instagram and TikTok. I'm posting the same video to both of them. I'm probably just going to drop Instagram because I got banned a while back. So TikTok and YouTube Shorts is just going to be what I'm going to be just pushing hard.
We're going to get him out there. So Justin Keanu on all socials and GageB10. Make sure to follow us. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video. Guys, it's 3 a.m. We're struggling here. We're just...
Like it. It's a free game.
We're pushing through.
I want every single one of you to become millionaires. And all I ask for is you take your finger and hit the little red button that says subscribe or follow.
He's a seasoned YouTuber. He's watched enough content to know what to say.